Welcome to 360 Strong Women. Today we're going to continue our gratitude and goals process, and we're going to talk a little bit more about thankful, gratitude, and grateful. Now these are synonymous terms, but there's a little bit of a difference between them. So thankful is when you're glad that something has happened or not happened, or that something or someone exists, etc. Like you're relating or expressing thanks. Gratitude is the quality of being thankful, the readiness to show appreciation for and then return kindness. And then when you're grateful, you have a feeling or showing the appreciation of kindness, that thankfulness. Terms are synonymous, although gratitude is the quality of being thankful and grateful is the feeling of showing or being thankful. So one is that being and one is showing, more action, are kind of synonymous. We've been writing down and adding gratitude to our goals. So we've picked a goal. We've already gone through motivation, tenacity, wellness. We've picked a goal. We understood why we picked the goal. We thought about it and wrote it down. We wanted to know why that goal, that achieving that goal was important. We've done that. We've talked about getting an accountability partner, making the goal small and making it a wellness goal and what that looks like. We've talked about the obstacles and the barriers that you may have to go through or pursue through. And are you tenacious enough to work out an action plan to go over the hurdles? Are they actually real hurdles? Have they been perceived over time because of something that's happened? Or is there really a barrier there, and what is your action plan going to be? So we're taking one little nugget, one little wellness goal. We're not going to pick the whole spectrum of the 360 wheel. I want you to pick one little thing and work through it, through this process, and then pick another goal and work through it. Remember that it's not linear. It's not A to B. It's not going to look like a straight line. I pick a goal and here's my success. Success is messy. It looks like this. It's really messy. Remember I talked about how it looks like you've squirted toothpaste out of a tube and now you're trying to put it back in. But what you achieve from the learning, you get curious about things, you're reflective about things, you become self-aware of, wow, I didn't really know that about myself, but I keep writing this. You may see patterns. There's going to be a lot of enlightenment as you journal through or video vlog through. And the things that you learn are going to be successes in themselves. So you'll learn how to achieve this goal because you're learning more about yourself. Are you growth-minded? Are you stuck? Those kind of things are going to come out in your journaling. And that makes it very helpful for you then to achieve your goal and be self-autonomous about it instead of me directing you. I want you to do A, I want you to do B, I want you to do C. If you do it this way, you'll be successful. That's not sustainable. You may achieve your goal for a short time, and then you may go back to habits that you haven't learned how to break. We want to see with everybody, with every goal, including myself, I'm working through things too. We want to see ourselves grow, be curious, reflect, become self-aware. I think this about this. What's my bias about it? Where did that come from? How can I get over that? I need to be reflective about that. How did it start? Those kind of things are going to help us then be growth-minded, and growth-minded people tend to not look at failures, I can't, I won't, because they don't think about their gradual process and the messy process as a failure. They think about it as a learning experience. This is what I learned from this experience, and now I can take the learning and move forward and do better in achieving this goal, because what I didn't know, now I know, and I'm curious enough to find out more. I'm curious enough to look for resources so that I can achieve this goal. Versus a static thought process. This is the way I am. This is the card I was dealt. There's nothing I can do about it. Why even bother? Those are the difference between that. And you can determine and help yourself become more growth-minded while you're achieving these goals through being reflective. And throwing gratitude into the mix. Remember, we talked about how when you put gratitude on your situation, on your circumstance, on your goal setting, you have a better outlook about the world, about what's going on, about the process. And then people that have gratitude in our life tend then to make better decisions, are more open and curious to see the world in a more positive light. So we have a more positive spin on, wow, this isn't really working for me. I need to look for something that will work for me, versus, wow, that didn't work for me. That sucks. I'm out. See the difference? So being grateful for, being thankful for, having gratitude can help in this learning process. And so that's what we want to do. We have been writing down things that you're grateful for, even in adverse situations or in adversity. And that's really important. I want you to go back to your gratitude journal for today, since we're talking about thankful, gratitude, and grateful. Read what you've been thankful for. And then next to it, write down and describe your day, just for today. So this is your little homework nugget. You're going to write down and describe your day. Then acknowledge what you're thankful for in the day, no matter how it looks, no matter how messy it looks. And see if there's any correlation as to what you've been thankful for, and gravitate to synonymous gratitude and see how that is. Then acknowledge those synonymous things and truly feel grateful for that. You can write about it. Then how, this is the question, this is the reflection, how does your gratitude correlate then with your wellness goal? Been thinking about your day, you've described your day, now you're looking at what you've been grateful for, and then is there a synonymous gratitude? And then how does that correlate to the wellness goal that you've picked? So all things to be reflective on today. So that's what you're writing down and working on. And then how do your thoughts change when you bring gratitude into play? If you were just working on a goal and you were thinking about your obstacles or trying to work through a game plan of overcoming an obstacle without the gratitude, what would that look like? And then adding gratitude to that, how does your thinking change? What are your thoughts like? What's the positive spin versus maybe the negative talk that you've been giving yourself? And just reflect on, when I have gratitude, when I express gratitude out loud, on paper, when you do that, you have acknowledged gratitude instead of just keeping it all inside. So once you expand and express it, you've acknowledged it. Once you've acknowledged it, how does that make you feel? How does that change your thought process? What does that look like? And I want you to reflect and percolate and write it down, or talk about it to yourself on a video, however you're doing your journaling. Do what serves you best. and then reflect on that. We want to add gratitude and blend that now into meditation and breathing as part of optimal wellness. And so I invite you to come along with me to do a few breathing techniques that will really help you find what we call your parasympathetic nervous system. And your parasympathetic nervous system is the system in your body that calms the body down, that is healing and restorative for the body. So it calms those stress hormones, brings balance back to your life. We have two systems always, and we want to keep them balanced. Your sympathetic nervous system keeps you alert. It keeps you sparked. Cortisol is that, I don't want to call it a bad hormone. People refer to it as a stress hormone. However, and it is, however, it's that hormone that helps us when we're in a stress situation. So it heightens up, it corrals the organs, and body fat protects the organs. We vault our body in so that we're protected, nothing's going to harm us, and we can run from a bear if a bear is chasing us. That's what that does. In the morning, your cortisol should just spark you up to get you alive and awake, like turning on your furnace. Whoop, I'm up. But then, in a normal, balanced hormonal body, it should start to deplete. So by the end of the night, when we begin to relax, we can go to sleep. Our melatonin turns on, our serotonin comes down, our cortisol comes down. We can then rest in our parasympathetic calm system and heal the body. But what happens is if you're too stressed all the time and your cortisol levels stay here, or they spark up and then they tend to go up instead of come down at the end of the night, and they're here, you're not sleeping well. You're agitated. You're so stressed that you don't know even how to calm down. So we need to find balance. We need to find the balance between our sympathetic nervous system. I'm alive and awake and I can handle stress. I can run from a bear. And our parasympathetic nervous system, I'm calm, I'm relaxed, I'm healing, restoring. We need both to work. We live in a culture of sympathetic nervous system. We're working way more hours, we're stressed, we have media that pumps in high stress things, we're in high stress jobs, like all of that. We're humans, we're messy, we're sympathetic nervous system. We need to learn how to balance and be able to present the parasympathetic nervous system to our body. And one of the ways that you can bring parasympathetic nervous system and engage it is by breathing techniques, meditation, reflective walks, petting a soft furry animal. So if you have a Jax or a Hope in your life, a cat, a dog, a bird, anything that's furry, feathers are soft, automatically, one of my cats is right here, automatically brings in parasympathetic nervous system. It calms you down. You begin to soothe. Your breathing slows down. You can focus better. That's what it does. Heals the brain, starts to level out the hormones so that you're kind to people and we're not so agitated. We can respond instead of reacting. All important things. So we need to learn how to balance that. We need both systems, but we need to learn how to enact the system when we need it and then use the other system when we need it. And we need more parasympathetic nervous system. We need to learn how to calm our bodies down, relax and restore them. It also, there's a lot of science out there with parasympathetic nervous system, also healing a lot of chronic issues we may have. And so it's really important for optimal health. And so I invite you, now that I've done this big science talk about the two systems, I tried to do that in a way that makes sense and is simple without being too sciencey. But I invite you now to do some breathing with me. I'm going to show 2 different breathing techniques, and you can also go into the video. So if you have not liked, subscribed, and share, hit the button, become part of the tribe, and you can go in and do meditation and yoga and breathing. There's videos about that. And then there's coffee talks just like this one about different things that help our optimal wellness on the wellness wheel. The first breathing technique I want to teach you, and I've done a video on this already, is just that clap, slap, and breathe. So you're really stressed. You need to almost slap yourself out of it. And so all you're going to do is slap your hands together and start to rub. Rub your hands together like you're starting a fire between your hands. They're going to become nice and warm as you rub and have the friction in between. And then I want you to shake your hands out. You'll feel the release through your hands. And it's almost like, wow, I needed that. And then take your hands, sweep them up over your head, exhale it down. Breathe up one more time. Exhale it away. Blow it out one more time. In and exhale. I'm already feeling calm. My heart rate has slowed. I have more focus. And I just clapped my hands so that sparks my cueing for we're getting ready to calm down. Rubbed it out, getting rid of all the stress. Just gonna roll it up into my hands into a little ball and then shake it away. And then begin to take those big inhalations so you can't get any more air in your body, and then exhale it out, exhale it out. You can blow it out, you can go, ah, just release it. Do that 3 or 4 times. You will immediately begin to calm your body down. It's a great way when you're in an ultra stressed situation. You feel like the stress is getting to you and you just need to stop and take a moment. This is a great activity as in a breathing activity to bring yourself back to center. The next breathing exercise I want to teach you is called box breathing. And box breathing is done by our military institute. Our Navy SEALs do this because they need to engage focus. They need to engage being present at the moment because it's life or death in some of the things they do, and they need to be super focused. So they need their balance, sympathetic and parasympathetic, in sync. Box breathing helps you focus, but it also calms the body down so that you can focus. You're not so scatterbrained. A lot of times when we're so stressed, we're so overwhelmed, we can't make a decision. Box breathing is your key. Now, I want you to think about a rectangle or a square. And I'm going to use my finger to point when you breathe, point when you hold, point when you exhale out, and then when you hold. If you have never done box breathing, I want you to start with a 2 count and then work to a 4 count and then work to maybe a 7 count and then go from there. 4 counts, a great count for this exercise. If you can do more, if you've got big, healthy lungs and you want to expand more, you can do that. The reason why I say start at 2 count and get used to it is because a lot of people aren't used to this and it can make you a little dizzy at first. So I want you to do this very safely. Go ahead and find a comfortable position. I'm just hanging out in my coffee talk chair. You can be on a mat doing yoga and meditation. You could be on your zafu. You could be standing. You could be in bed right before you go to sleep. So great. Box breathing is great for that parasympathetic, staying present, falling asleep. So breathing techniques right before you go to bed, perfect. Before a test, before a big meeting, before you have to have a difficult conversation with somebody. We need to be present so we can be active listeners, but we also need to be focused so we can hear and receive messages and then give messages back and be calm about it so that we can have a discussion with somebody without being defensive or putting them on the defense. Communication. This is a great tool for communication. What I want you to do is you're either laying down, you're standing, or you're seated. That's all you can do. Find it a comfortable space for you. So if getting on the floor is too much, you can sit in a chair. You don't have to be in a lotus position. I've got my legs bent. I'm just comfortable. So I just want you to know that you don't have to do this in a tight lotus in my yogi form. I like to do that because I meditate that way, but you don't have to. And there's lots of different ways to meditate, even walking meditation. We'll do a video on that. Just be comfortable. But then I want you to find a mudra that works for you. You can put your hands to heart center, put your hands in your lap, something comfortable, or I like to put my hands over my heart. This is where my gratitude is. And I want to make sure that I'm in the moment and breathing. And it cues my body because I can feel my inhalations and my exhalations. So it's not just listening for it, but I can actually feel my chest rise up. Now I'm going to use my fingers, so I'm not going to be doing that, but I want you to find that. And then you can go ahead and close your eyes if you feel like you're in a safe space. Or just bring your eyes down the bridge of your nose and look down. Now, if you're doing a 2 count, do a 2 count. I'm going to do a 4 count. So the first line is inhale for 4. The next line is hold for 4. The next one is exhale for 4. And the last one is hold for 4. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. And that's it. Feel how still and calm and focused your body gets all of the sudden. And you can practice that. So start with 2 count, work to 3, 4, 5, 7. If you can do that, you've got also exercising your pulmonary system, which is really good for you. It brings you into parasympathetic nervous system and helps you to focus so that you can make good cognitive decisions, good relationship decisions, good decisions on making your wellness goal. And it's good for your body. That's where we want to go. We want to hold our thankfulness. We want to hold our gratitude. We want to understand what we're truly being thankful for, not just putting words out there. And then we want to recognize how our gratitude is changing our thoughts as we work through this process and what we're really grateful for. You're going to see a pattern. Everyone's is going to be different. And then we want to make sure we're adding our breath work and meditation into it. Now you can do the box breathing and just do the counting and breathe. Once you get used to it, then you can add gratitude words to that. Life, warmth, friendships, family, something positive, something that you're grateful for, those things that you're grateful for. Maybe they become the mantras. It will really, really help you get focused, stay focused, and help you move towards success of your goal. So those are 2 breathing techniques. I'm not going to go into, there's so many more. We'll have videos on those. But for today, I just want you to practice that clap, slap, I call it clap, slap, and then breathe. So you'll rub it, friction, shake it off, and begin to breathe. Just get rid of it. And then your box breathing, super important. Breathe in, hold, exhale, and hold. And see how you feel. Then I want you to write about how your body is, how your mind is, once you do those breathing techniques, and where you're at with that. Kind of describe what happens to your body. Wow, that felt really good. My lungs are open. I feel better. I'm sitting up taller. I have more confidence. I'm focused for the day. I'm alive and awake because I was an hour ago compressed from sitting in my office. It's been really stressful and it's 3 o'clock and I'm really tired. You can do some breathing techniques and less stress. There are also, so I don't want to negate that the only thing you can do is those 2 types of breathing. There are a lot. And if you need, there are many, many apps out there now. There's Calm, there's Breathe, Relax and Meditate, there's Headspace. So consider if you want a regimen of getting into your parasympathetic nervous system. And it's like, what did she say? I don't really remember. You can just download an app and it will direct you and will walk you through it. There are stories, there's breathing techniques. The Calm one, I even have it on my watch and it'll say time to breathe, and it just opens up and it feels like breath coming in and it stimulates my wrist. I'm breathing in and then it exhales away, and it'll do that for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever I set it for. And it'll say, good job, you have calmed your body down. And there's rain that you can listen to, or ocean waves that you can meditate to. There's a lot of things that can help with depression, anxiety, nervousness, but just to get yourself back to parasympathetic nervous system, that's the optimal wellness. And to add that to gratitude, it's like double Starbucks day where you get 1,000,000 stars. So if you're a coffee lover, you understand that. But it's like a double bonus. So you get extra added health benefits by adding the breathing techniques to your gratitude. That's going to help with your overall achievement of your goal. We just wanted to go through a couple things about adding gratitude, adding meditation. We did the box breathing, we did the clap slap. You are all set for a couple things in your tool belt to help you then move forward onto your gratitude and goals. I hope that the little nuggets that I've been sharing with you are helpful. Some nuggets you're like, I already do that, that's okay. But there may be one thing like, I didn't think about that, I'm gonna add that. And wow, there may be a word or a phrase or something that has landed with you, and I hope that that's helpful. If you have questions, leave comments and I will help you with that. Please be kind in your comments. We're here to enrich and help and lift people up. We're not here to pull the rug out from anybody. So let's be kind and live your life 360. And until then, I will see you next time. Bye.